Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Justice card. This is also called Adjustment. This is your first position called Station. This is sort of representing our subjective experience right now. This is kind of like what's on our mind. This is what we sort of consider when we're closing our eyes at night to go to sleep. It's this idea of what is fair right now? What is the right choice right now? Or maybe, how am I apportioning my life? How am I prioritizing things? I think you're somebody who's trying to consider everybody's feelings right now, trying to consider what's best for everybody, trying to make a higher wisdom and discernment decision, trying to find balance. I think you're somebody who tries to treat everybody fairly, tries to treat everybody sort of equally. I think you're trying to weigh the options in your life. You're trying to feels like you're trying to understand how much weight to give the things in your life that are important to you. You know, how much time do I give this thing? How much energy or money do I put into this thing? And how do I balance my life? Okay? I think we're striving for that. I think we're making little micro adjustments in our lives. I think that you're somebody who is very centered in your life right now, and you're trying to always be operating from this higher wisdom and discernment point of view, trying to make good decisions, okay? And trying to really judge something's relative value. We're not judging anything's intrinsic value, but how is it important to me, and what do I need to do based on that level of importance? Like, how much weight do I give different things in my life? So let's put this card into some context. I want to see how this energy is being utilized in your life right now. We got the Six of Cups. That's beautiful. The 6 pillars of happiness, the 6 pillars of well-being. This is harmony. This is beauty. This is resonance and tranquility. This is really this is the balance we're striving for. We're trying to know how much weight to give each of these things in life that we feel are important, because we want to live a balanced and full and rich and a very pleasant and pleasurable life. There we have the 8 of Pentacles, the card of growth and patience and prudence, paying attention, giving things what they need to be sustained. Okay. We have a Queen of Swords. We have the Fool. We have the Hermit. You have a 9 of Swords. We have the Lust card, a 3 of Pentacles, and a Princess of Swords. Interesting to get the 9 of Swords here. Okay, I think the 9 of Swords is the recognition, not only, on this side, kind of recognizing what things I want to do more of, but on this side, kind of recognizing what things I need to do less of. What kind of things have I been overdoing, or what things have I been allowing into my life that I need to eliminate? Okay, I think it's also us realizing that on the ultimate balance of things, there's going to be pleasure and pain in life. And if we don't have suffering, we're not going to have joy either. Okay, we're recognizing that you can't have one without the other, and recognizing that how we deal with the unpleasant realities of life, how we deal with disappointment and pain and loss and suffering, really tells a lot about us and what kind of experience we're going to have of life. And the Hermit is kind of a main factor here. Are we turning our back on pain and just focusing on pleasure, or are we capable of integrating all of it? Okay. I think something in your life is going to be taking place now in a very practical way. Something really, really good is happening for you. Okay. If right now you're feeling as if my life isn't where I want it to be, that there's something that's keeping me up at night, something that I need to achieve. There's some kind of a lack or a scarcity. I feel like we're getting the abundance. If right now we're feeling despair, we're going to feel tranquility. If we're having anxiety, we're going to get peace. Okay? So this is what's coming into your life, the Six of Cups. That's love, connection, family, community. Right now we feel Mars in Gemini, and that's a separation. We feel the pain of division. We feel the pain of being separated from something. This is the union. This is us coming together and resonating in harmony, in love and pleasure. So whatever you feel like you're missing, whatever you feel like is not in your life right now, whatever this pain is, whatever the division, whatever we feel divided from, you're going to be united with it. Okay? Let's let that sink in. That's really good news. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down over here with Jimbo the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. We don't have any fire, except for this Leo energy, this lust card. This is passion, this is fire, this is magic, right? This is vibrant, vital energy. This is zest. This is a robustness. You got water right here. You got air and air and air. You got earth and earth. I feel like right now, because of this Nine of Swords, this feels like our starting point. Okay. And I know I'm kind of jumping around, but hey, it's my show. I can do that. This is going to be your persona. This is going to be kind of the objective view of life right now. And it feels like we're kind of missing something. It feels like we're separated from something that we really want. We're separated from ourselves or from our destiny or from our pleasure or our achievements. We're separated from the win, right? We're separated from the good emotions. This could be the feeling in life that we don't have anything that's giving me that passion. It's like you're not excited about anything. You know, it's like maybe it feels like something's wrong in life, but we don't know what it is. We feel like we're sort of homesick for a place we've never been. We feel like we're missing something that we've never had, and we don't know why. Okay. It's kind of a despair. It's kind of like I got my head in my hands. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why. I don't feel as passionate about life. I don't feel as excited for things. All those, all that kind of energy is trapped up in this Nine of Swords. And I think what we're doing about that then is we are trying to make some new decisions. We're making choices. We're trying to say, okay, you know what? I maybe need to focus more on these 6 pillars of health and well-being. I may not know what's missing in my life. I may not know what I want. These are the things that I can do in order to improve my feeling and to feel better, to be happier. These 6 pillars, what are they? Well, they're adequate sleep, intentional eating, intentional movement, right? Diet and exercise, stress reduction, relationships, healthy relationships, and a sense of purpose, a sense of presence, maybe a spiritual practice, yeah? And so those are things that I think we all can kind of do in our own unique way, and we have to decide, okay, how much attention do I need to give to my sleep? What's my sleep quality? Let's evaluate. with the Libra energy, right? We're evaluating, what's my sleep like? How am I sleeping lately? Not very good, okay? Why is that? Well, you can see that's part of the reason. But also, maybe I need to go to bed at a different time. Maybe some of these other of the 6 factors are affecting my sleep. Maybe I'm not moving enough. Maybe I'm eating the wrong things and I'm not sleeping well because of that. So everything's interconnected. All of these things support, or, maybe not, each other. My sleep will affect my relationships. My stress reduction will affect my eating. My relationships will affect my intentional movement, right? My sense of purpose and presence will help all of those things. So everything is interdependent here. And this is us evaluating our lives in this fashion. How am I sleeping? What can I do to improve? What little micro adjustments can I do to improve my sleep? What can I do to improve my diet, my exercise? What kind of things can I do to reduce stress a little bit? What can I do to improve my relationships and find healthy relationships and strengthen those? And what can I do to deepen my spiritual practice? If we focus on those things and try to establish a balance, I would bet that we're going to start to feel a little bit more vibrant. We're going to start to feel a little bit more zest, a little bit more passion in our lives. I think particularly the 6 of Cups is saying that you're focused on relationships. Okay? And I think right now for you, focusing on those relationships is going to improve every other aspect of your life. It could be that we're not really deeply connected with the people around us, not like we want to be. So the quest for you right now might be to immerse yourself in some of these interpersonal relationships. Get to know people, let people get to know you. Make some friends, participate in things and group activities. If you're invited to something, say yes, right? I think we're putting more attention. We're giving a little bit more weight to the interpersonal relationships. And even if, we're at work, try to connect with people. On other things, get to know people, I guess, a little bit. Okay. So position 2 in our spread is the battlefield position. And I think sometimes it's hard for you to feel connected with people. We might feel that we're kind of naturally a little bit of a homebody, a little bit of a hermit, right? The Spirit wants you to connect with people and to find that sense of community, to find a group, to find a sense of belonging, okay? Because we're going to go down here with our 3rd position, the position of growth. You're somebody that you have patience. I think you have you're kind of like you're kind of slow to get to know people. You're cautious. You don't let people get too close too quickly. Yeah. And I think for you, it's kind of like people have to slowly get to know you. You want to slowly get to know other people. You don't really jump into relationships very quickly, I think you kind of take your time. You kind of err on the side of caution. You would rather say no more often than saying yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the opposite of being impulsive. You're saying no even if it means you're missing out on stuff. It's safer to just say no more often. Whereas someone who's maybe more impulsive, more risk-taking, they'll say yes more often, even though sometimes it's going to kind of bite them in the butt and whatever. But saying yes, it's like it opens you up to way more positive experiences, but you got to take the bad with the good. Yeah. But then saying no more often, it's like we're saving ourselves the grief of the kind of taking the bad, but we're also not really getting any of the good stuff either. So being a little bit too cautious is, we're sort of denying ourselves those good experiences because we don't want any of the bad ones to slip through. So we have boundaries, but maybe we have so many boundaries that we're not really growing much. Okay? That we've restricted our energies a little bit here. And this is contrasted by the Fool up above here. The Fool says we need to open up, we need to go outside, we need to hang out, we need to make some friends, we need to go have fun, we need to just take a leap, take a jump, Go do something, spontaneous. Go seek out some novelty. Go seek out some new people and meet some friends and accept the invitation. It's kind of like more yeses. The fool, in all reality, the fool says yes to everything, even when it really shouldn't, right? And that's sometimes a problem for the fool, because it'll say yes to this, and then something else comes along, it'll say yes to this, and it'll forget about the first thing. So it can be very inconsiderate. It's not very thoughtful, right? The fool just kind of led around from one thing to the next. But maybe we need to invoke a little bit of that. We need to be a little bit more open, a little bit more curious about life, and being willing to sort of take a chance here, because I feel like there's some kind of restrictive energy on you. I feel like maybe your life has become feels like it's become a little bit too hyper-focused in one area, like you've been working a lot. That's all you do is work, work, work. And so we're not really having or allowing ourselves the opportunity to go out and just kind of live and experiment and just like immerse ourselves in life and experience novelty, experience awe, experience wonder. We're not really living, And I think that's part of the complaint here, especially with the Leo card, the lust card in the environment. That I don't feel the passion for life. No, because I feel like we're too focused on the practical things that we need to do in life, that we're not giving enough attention to the other things in life that will help us to feel better. Okay? It's like you've even in here with the sixes, we're so focused on diet and exercise that we're not sleeping well, and we're not focusing on our relationships, and maybe we're not doing our spiritual practice or whatever. Right? Too much weight on any one of these things might mean that there's not enough balance in some of these other areas. But I think the relationships are the big thing for you. I think that you've been a little bit introverted lately, and of course it's a natural thing for a Cancer sign. I think Spirit wants us to be a little more outgoing right now. Go do some new things. Go out and play. Go seek novelty. Say yes to some invitations. Invite yourself over to your friend's house or something, right? Call up your friends and say, I'm coming over. That sort of thing. Now, in the background position, though, we do have a Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is kind of processing an ending to something. And I wonder what's ended in your life that we're sort of trying to look at it objectively, and we're trying to maybe I I almost feel like this was an ending of a relationship, that then we kind of just once it was gone, we just said, okay, it's gone. And we never replaced it with anything. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like we have, I don't know, it's just like we're left with just that hole. And that would be the pain of the separation, right? So it could be that we had, let's say, a friendship, and that friend is gone, and then we just kind of said, well, I guess I'm just alone now. And so we're feeling like that's it. That's just the way it is. The thing is, we don't have to stay in this. The problem with the Nine of Swords is that we feel like once we're here, we're doomed. That this is it. This is forever now. And so if something has ended, we feel like, well, now I just don't have it in my life. Let's say this was, and I don't know what this is for you specifically, but if this is a romantic relationship or a life partner, and now they're gone, we feel that pain of separation. It's just like, well, now my life has no joy, it has no love, I feel this way, I have there's no passion anymore. Because we never replace that with anything else. And it's not, and that kind of sounds bad, like it's a person, they're not replaceable. Okay. So it's, and I can see why we would remain that way. It's like, okay, I had something I really loved, it's gone, and now it's just gone, and now there's just going to be a hole there forever, and that's life. That's going to be forever now. I'm not saying that we have to immediately replace it with something else to fill the hole and say, I'm fine again. But I feel like that happened a long time ago, and I feel like we never like put anything else in its place. Yeah. We never began a new activity. We never like made a new friend. We never like put ourselves back out there and tried to not necessarily fill the hole or replace it with something else, but we never tried to like be whole again. Yeah. Because that's kind of like, this is almost like one of these things gets taken from us, and then we're in a deficit. And we don't like, I don't know, it's kind of like you lose a pet and then it's just like, well, I guess I don't have any animals now. At some point, we say, you know what, I want that kind of companionship. So I'm going to get another animal, you know? And maybe the Nine of Swords is kind of like, I don't know if it's a guilt maybe. You're saying, well, I don't want to get a new animal, and then that kind of disrespects the memory of my pet, that I lost. I think a lot of us have been in that situation. I've lost pets before. And I don't think you run out and just get a new one real quick, to avoid the feelings. No, I think we mourn, we grieve, we deal with it. And then at some point in the future, we kind of give it some thought. We think, well, maybe I'm gonna get another one. Because we realize that I want that in my life. And it's the same thing with a relationship, with a love relationship. Let's say someone broke up with us. And then there's that absence, and we feel that. And then years go by, and we never went out on another date. We never got into another relationship. We didn't do anything else because we want that in our lives. But we sometimes get stuck in that feeling like there's only one version of that was for me. And that version's not there anymore, so now I don't get to have it in my life. And it's almost like we're getting stuck on the form of something rather than on this self-awareness that says, I need that sort of thing. I need that companionship. It's like I used to try to grow plants in my life. I really wanted to have a house full of plants. Every time I'd grow something, it would die. I lived in California. It's just, I didn't know what I was doing. And so eventually I just said, well, I guess I'm just not meant to have plants anymore. That plant died, and now I don't have plants. I'll never have plants again. Until I realized that, you know what? I'm somebody that wants to have plants around me, And so you eventually come to that realization that this is something that is necessary to my well-being, something that's part of my life. I want it to be part of who I am. And we go after it again, and we're open to that possibility. I think that's all the Fool is saying here, is that we have to be open to meeting another person, to like thinking of another pet, or maybe we're going to get another plant at some point. We don't have to deny ourselves that and live in this kind of Nine of Swords despair. I think we need to admit what it is we want and be open to those possibilities. It doesn't mean we immediately run out the very same day and get another one to replace it. Well, we got to feel the feelings, got to process the whole thing. But that's what the Queen of Swords is doing, is process the ending. And I think you've processed the ending to the point where you've healed from it. It's water under the bridge. It happened a long time ago, I feel like. And now with the Libra energy, we're making the decision. We're contemplating, we're considering, well, do I maybe want to get another plant? Do I maybe want to think about another dog, right? Now, Spirit's saying something about a bracelet or something around your wrist. I don't know if it broke recently or if I almost feel like it's a hospital tag, yeah? For someone out there, you're wearing a hospital tag still. The identification band, the plastic thing, yeah? The Hermit in the future position. I think this really is the crux of the matter. This is really the heart of the whole thing. Are we going to stay in hermit mode? Are we kind of saying, well, you know what, this is my life now, that I had this thing I loved, and it's gone, and that's it. And now, and it's kind of like I just disappear from life, Or do we sort of realize that I want that thing in my life. I want to have that joy, that pleasure, that connection, that companionship, or whatever it is. And we sort of re-engage. This is like somebody who loses a loved one or a spouse, and they remain in hermit mode for the rest of their lives. Yeah. And of course, if that's your choice, that's fine. I think right now you're entertaining the idea of like, maybe I should get back out there and maybe I should make some new connections. Maybe I should let myself meet new people and maybe find love again. Maybe find something that makes me feel that way again. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a sport, maybe it's an activity of some kind, maybe it's friendship, maybe it's reading books. I don't know what it is. It's the same thing as somebody who maybe was really, really good at playing a sport and then they get injured. And they don't play that sport anymore. They don't have that. And you say, well, I guess I don't have it. It's not meant for me. And the hermit's saying, like, maybe we realize that there is something in here that we need, and we may not get to do the exact same thing again, right? It may not take the exact same form again. But if we admit that I want to have something like that in my life, I want to feel that way again, then we can sort of get out of hermit mode. We wake up, we go out into the world, and we find something that's going to make us feel that way. You know, you play football and you blow your knee out. Well, there goes your football career. And then you never play any sports again, never have anything like that in your life, and you regret it for the rest of your life. Until that one day you wake up and you say, okay, I may not be able to go out and play football like I did before, high school football, but I can play ball with my kids or friends or in the neighborhood or in some kind of a local community league or something like that. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing or the exact same person. But to recognize that we want to include that and it's part of our sense of well-being, then we get out of the hermit mode, okay? And so this is position 6. This is the imago for you. This is the vision of the future. The next step for you is to re-engage, to get out of the house, to get out of the darkness, and to go outside and meet new people and be open to the possibilities of having new experiences so that you can find this sense of love and peace and tranquility or connection or community or companionship, whatever this is for you. The first step really is you deciding that we're going to make that change, that this is something I need and I want to go and find that I deserve it. That we love ourselves enough and we value ourselves and we say, I deserve to have that in my life. I deserve to feel, fulfilled. Now, of course, on the path of the serpent, we're going to talk about these cards again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The 9 of Swords is the general energy. This is the persona. This is really what's going on in our life. The realization that we've been separated from something that we want or need in our life, something that made us feel whole. We've been separated from it. And instead of just accepting that state and saying, well, I guess that's my life now, and just acquiescing to that, we're saying, no, wait a minute, I can make a choice here, and I can go out into the world, and I can find something that's going to make me feel whole again. I can find that missing piece of my puzzle. And then I think once we do that, well, look, we start getting that passion in the environment. The lust card in the position of your relationships. And this is excitement. This is passion. This is zest, right? This is enthusiasm. It's like this is you just getting happy and getting excited to get out into the world and live a life, and it feels robust. It's like we've found something that excites us again, something that makes us feel passionate. This is you out there playing football again in the neighborhood community league or whatever, right? The easy league. This is you out there enjoying the presence of other people, connecting with people, having fun, going to the party, going to the event, going to the concert or the show or the movies or whatever, and engaging in that activity that makes you feel this vibrant, youthful, vital energy. You're going to find there's something that is going to, if we're open to it, and we go out and we engage with life, something's going to come along that's going to make you feel young again. Something's going to come along that makes you feel passionate, makes you feel fired up, makes you feel motivated. I can't wait to get up and go do it. Maybe it's pickleball. Maybe it's hockey, I don't know. Something is making you feel that vital energy again, okay? And the fear, worry, concern, the Spectre card, position 9, is the 3 of Pentacles. Mars and Capricorn. Here we have Mars and Gemini, Mars and Capricorn. Because it feels as if our worst nightmare, I guess, would be an unfulfilled potential. Our worst nightmare would be that we're just, kind of, what I'm feeling with this card, kind of a cynical or bitter energy. We don't want to become grumpy, like old people, you know? We don't want to just feel like full of regret. We don't want to feel that we have squandered whatever opportunity I had, because this would be a lamentation. This would be, kind of at the end of our life thinking, I should have just gone back out there and strived for what I wanted. I should have went out there and looked for it and searched for it and quested. Right? This is somebody that's going, on the pathless road. Somebody that's questing, somebody that's out there and is going to search for what they want, search for their destiny. Just because we didn't find it where we were, or it was taken away from us, or it was gone from our lives, doesn't mean that our adventure had to end. No. That's a turning point on our quest, sure. But it wasn't the end of the quest. So how long have we been delaying getting back to our quest? It's time to get back out there and do it, right? Because the worst thing for you is going to be that we wasted a potential, that we could have had more, and we, for whatever reason, we didn't believe that we were allowed, and so we let it pass us by. Okay. What we see in a very practical way with our Princess of Swords here is that we're being curious. We're out there. We're learning. We're taking a class. We're saying yes to an invitation. We're going over to somebody's house. We're talking to new people. We're intellectually curious. Okay, and we're out there exploring other connections. We're communicating. Right. Sometimes the Hermit would be a card that says we've kind of sequestered ourselves. We've isolated ourselves. This is not the time for isolation. This is the time for getting back out there and making connections. And this is what we're doing here. And we know with this card, first of all, it's like every idea deserves at least a little more thought. Not every idea is going to be the brilliant idea, but every idea can be like a possibility, okay? We also know that this card is allowing us to make mistakes. It means that not everybody I talk to is going to become my best friend. Not every dog I meet is going to be, oh, that's the one, right? Not every activity or every sport or every movie I see is going to be like, oh, that was the passion, that was it, that was amazing. No, there's going to be some duds, right? But we're giving ourselves permission to go out and try to make connections. Some of those connections aren't going to work out. We're not going to resonate with everybody. We're going to go out, we're going to try to find our people. Not everybody is our people. This is about, finding community, finding relationships. Not everybody is going to be meant for us. We're not going to resonate with everybody, and that's okay. We're not supposed to. Okay, so don't get discouraged if we talk to a few people and we just like, oh gosh, we didn't have anything in common. That's all right. It's supposed to be that way. Yeah. So let's look at the mystery card. This is position 11. The guide represents the voice of the silence within you. To me, I feel like this is going to be some fire energy. We need some fire here because, again, there's a lack of fire in the reading here. This is like we want the fire back. I feel like we need to stoke that fire. We need to take the initiative. We need perhaps an ace of wands. I do even a 2 or a 3 of wands. I feel like it might be another 6. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it in the comment section down below. Let's see. The judgment, yes. The wake-up call. The wake-up call, right? This is spirit. This is the angel blowing a trumpet in your face saying, wake up. Wake up, because we've been in this despair. And it's like this has become familiar. This is routine now. This is an unhappy card. Spirit saying, wake up, snap out of it. Let's get going. We got a lot of life left to live. Let's get out there. Let's get the Fool energy going. And let's see what we can do. Let's see what's out there, right? This is the alarm clock. Trying to wake you up out of a slumber and say, it's time, right? It's time to go. It's time to go, and this is a doorway. This is a doorway outside of your house. It's a doorway out into the world to look around for, hey, I don't know, just going to see what's out there. See what might resonate with me. And believing, acknowledging that I have a right to do that I deserve that, and I'm not going to waste any time. So there is a sense of urgency here. And I feel like this is a wake-up call from Spirit, yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.